Good morning and welcome to LNTV. Today is the 11th day sitting of the 5th House of Legislatures, and we are here to bring you this session from the chambers of House of Representatives. So these are some of the representatives that are here, and at this moment there is a roll call for those representatives who will be attending the session here today. So LNTV, we are busy. Keep following us as we bring this session.
County, and the Republic of Liberia, and Bishop Johnson Jr., Mosambi Jala, Madidi County, Roland Football, our K. Jones, Ellie A. Torre, Majoya, Clarence Giga, Riverside County, Ellie J. Grant, and C. Tikwa. Grand Blue County, Nathaniel M. Bawashoyo, Honorable Councilor J. Nanti Kofa, Reboji County, Alexander Paul, Azen B. Triple Wo, Johnson S. M. William Sonia, Wapuru County, Musina A. Norman, Oluto S. Collin, and Honorable Mustafa Warity. Honorable Deputy Speaker, Honorable Member of the Honorable House of Representatives, there are 37 Honorable Member present. 24 absent, 10 honorable member distant, 1 seat vacant, 1 honorable member sick. Thank you very much.
So welcome again to the 11th day sitting of the second quarter of the second session of House of Representatives. So this is the agenda here, and there are a couple of applications here. A communication from Honorable James M. Kohler, Representative, Electoral District 2, Pong County, submitting for legislative enactment under the Act to establish the National Police Trust Fund. Keep tuned as we go through this second session.
3 weeks that the speaker has not been present and his whereabouts is concerned to us.
There is a legitimate excuse. The speaker has traveled in Guinea. Has traveled way of information, the speaker traveled. He's representing us. He's in Guinea. Probably you were there. You were somewhere. The beach. You're on the beach.
So the Deputy Speaker is representing.
That proceed with the agenda. Honorable Jacob Debbie, you were on the beach at the time. No, you were there on the Sunday, so the man left on Saturday. That proceed.
The 11th day sitting of the second quarter of the second section of the Honorable House of Representatives, the 55th Legislature, Republic
So right now is the reading of the agenda.
Thursday, June 19, 2025. Agenda. 1 session call to order, 2 prayer, 3 roll call, 4 reading correction, amendment, and adoption of the agenda, 5 call for petitions, 6 call for standing committees reports, 7 call for special committees reports, 8 call for motions, bills, and resolutions, Under that, we have a communication from Honorable James M. Colette, Representative Electoral District 2, Bone County, submitting for legislative enactments, quote unquote, an act to establish the National Police Trust Fund for 2025. 9 business and speakers left. Under that, we have a communication from Honorable Rugi Yatu Bari, Representative Electoral District 1, Mansoura County, bringing to the attention of the House.
Muka Kamala record. You can do a general. You write the bill. Muka, please get it. You look for trouble. Have it. Eugene, you can write a general. Looking for trouble.
Where is our guy? Thank you.
A communication from Honorable Rugi Yatubari, Representative Electoral District 1, Mansoura County, bringing to the attention of the House land disputes in her district, thereby calling for the House's intervention for a peaceful settlement. B. A communication from Honorable J. Clarence Stevens, Representative Electoral District 2, Grand Bassa County, craving the indulgence of plenary to invite Minister of Health, Dr. Louis M. Cotto, and the Chief Medical Officer, Dr. Catherine Cooper, to appear before the full plenary to provide reasonable reasons for the frequent removal of specialized medical doctors and personnel from the Grand Bassa County Hospital by the Ministry of Health. C. A communication from Honorable James M. Colette, Representative Electoral District 2, Bone County, bringing to the attention of plenary the current challenges faced by the Phoebe Lutheran University in Swakopmund, Bone County. D. A communication from Honorable Sumo K. Mulbach, Representative Electoral District 3, Mansoura County, craving the indulgence of the plenary of the House to invite before it the authorities of the Environmental Protection Agency and the Ministry of Public Works to explain why construction works in islands and waterways are allowed in his district without proper drainage system in place. E. A communication from Honorable Prince K. Koina, Representative Electoral District 1, Bone County, craving the indulgence of plenary to authorize the commission of a comprehensive audit of the House of Representatives. F. A communication from Honorable Luther S. Collins, Representative Electoral District 2, Republic County, giving a notice for a discharge petition to discharge from committee room a bill entitled, quote unquote, an act declaring Bokomo Administrative District in Manchester area. G. A communication from the Librarian Friend Awards requesting the House to include the Johnny Home Fame Festival and Librarian Friend Awards on the legislative agenda. H. The appearance of the Director General National Investigation Registry, along with the Chairperson of the National Elections Commission, to address issues raised in a communication purport by Honorable Maima Briggs Mensa, Representative Electoral District 6, Bone County. 10. Miscellaneous 11 adjournment. Mr. Deputy Speaker, Mr. Co-Presiding Officer, Honorable ladies and gentlemen, that was the reading of the draft agenda for today's business. Thank you.
Distinguished colleagues, here the reading of the agenda. What is it with a pleasure? Honorable Jacob T.
Honorable Deputy Speaker, presiding distinguished colleagues, having listened to the reading of this agenda of today's business, I move if I can obtain a second. And the item that has to do with the appearance of the Director General, National Identification Registry, along with the chairperson of the National Commission be brought to item number 1, and the item D that has to do with communication from our honorable colleague be referred to the committee.
Jacob, want to do everything to this over?
Yes, okay.
You want to wait on the code?
Yeah.
Okay.
Be referred to the committee on education. If I can obtain a second. And Earth. And everything is referred.
On say everything together to
Yeah,
Okay. Robert Jimmy, please restate that motion of clarity.
I said, the Adam R be moved to Adam 1, that they appear Adam D be deferred, be sent to the committee on education, and FDBT deferred. The next session is in this manner.
Income from one.
Yeah, I come from 1.
Yeah. And then D be different. Be sent to committee.
Yeah.
And F go. F.
Yes.
F be different because okay, the code is not here.
Yeah.
Okay. Distinguished colleagues from the motion made. Are you ready to vote? All those in favor of the motion made by the right honorable Jacob TV, make a move and say yeah. Against, motion is carried. Distinguished colleagues, in keeping with the motion made, I've just been informed that the proponent of the communication that prompted the invite of the ABC and the NRR.
It was a joint communication,
Oh, okay, then we can proceed. Since we can proceed here. Okay, then we entertain our guests.
So, LNTV, there is an appearance here in this session. The Director General National Identification Registry, that is the NIR, along with the Chairperson of the National Elections Commission, NEC, to address issues raised in a communication preferred by Honorable Moima Briggs Mensa, representatives, Electoral District 6, Bong County. If you're just joining us, this is the 11th day sitting of the second quarter of the second session of the House of Representatives, and the agenda had been read, and this portion of the agenda was on I, but it had been moved to number 1.
Producing most one bread for you to eat here, all their food in one chocolate. That's different, I think.
So as we await the discussion by the representatives, just want to remind you of some of the items here on the agenda. And we have the communication from the Honorable Man, James Collier, representative of District 2, Bond County, and also have a communication from Honorable Rudy Yatubari, representative of District 1, Maserado County, bringing to the attention of the House land dispute in her district, thereby calling for the House citizen intervention for a peaceful settlement, and also a communication from the Honorable J. Clarence T. Banks, representative of District 2, Grand Bassa County, craving the indulgence of plenary to invite the Minister of Health, Dr. Luis M. Otto, and the Chief Medical Officer, Dr. Catherine Cooper, to appear before the full plenary to provide reasons for the frequent removal of specialized medical doctors and personnel from the Grand Bassa County Hospital by the Ministry of Health. And also, attendees is from Honorable James M. Kolegi, representative from District 2, Bond County, bringing the attention of plenary the current challenges faced by the Phoebe Lutheran University in Suakoko, Bond County. And also there's a communication here from Sumoke Moba, representative District 3, Maserado County, craving the indulgence of the plenary of the House to invite before it the authorities of the Environmental Protection Agency, that's the EPA, and Ministry of Public Works, to explain why construction works in alleys and waterways are allowed in his district without proper drainage system in place. Also on the agenda, there's a communication from Honorable Prince K. Wadna. He's representing District 1 Bond County also. He's also craving the indulgence of plenary to authorize the commission of a comprehensive audit of the House of Representatives. And then from Luther S. Collins, he's also representing District 2, Bapolu County, giving a notice for a discharge petition to discharge from committee room a bill entitled an act declaring Bokomo Administrative District and Magisterial Area. Also a communication, the Labor Frame Awards, requesting the House to include and now the guest from the National Identification Card is ready in session to address the issue raised in the communication preferred by Honorable Mema Briggs Mesa, that's the Director General for National Identification Registry. So LNTV, we are just joining us with a welcome and keep following us as we bring this 11th day sitting, second session.
We'd like to say the leadership of the NRO as well, the National Elections Commissions, you are welcome to these chambers for these interactions. Thank you. Chief Clerk, please read communication from this invitation.
Honorable Richard Nawekon, Speaker, House of Representatives, the 55th Legislature, Republic of Liberia. Subject: request for appearance of the National Identification Registry on delays in ADICA insurance. Honorable Speaker and esteemed colleagues, I present my respectful compliments and right to formally request that plenary invites the leadership and responsible officers of the National Identification Registry, to be cited to appear before this honorable plenary to provide full disclosure and clarity regarding the persistent delays in the issuance of national identification cards to ordinary Liberians, particularly after they have completed the full registration process, including photo capture and payment. Across Liberia, many citizens, especially rural constituents, government workers, contractors, and vulnerable groups are unable to access bank services due to these delays. This is particularly troubling in light of Executive Order Number 126, which mandates that a valid national ID card be presented before receiving or cashing any government-issued check. While the Executive Order seeks to create a centralized database for all citizens and residents, its directive to solely recognize the national ID card for financial transactions has had the unintended consequence suppressing the Liberian passport, which remains a duly recognized national identification document. This situation is unacceptable as the passport used under the authority of the Republic and is recognized internationally. It must be exempted from this restriction. In line with the executive order, which tax the executive law, which tax the NIRO with maintaining an accurate and accessible ID system, this honorable legislature must ensure that the agency fulfills its mandate with integrity, exclusivity, and efficiency. Additionally, I recommend that this honorable body engages relevant stakeholders to reconsider the restriction placed on the Liberian passport under the Executive Order Number 147 and advocate for its recognition as an alternative valid form of identification for banking and government transactions. I therefore request the NR be asked. So, 1. Explain the causes of these delays. 2. Outline technical, logistical, or financial challenges. 3. Present a clear plan to solve the backlog. And 4. Suggest how the legislature can assist in improving service delivery. This matter is of urgent national importance, and I trust it will be given due attention. With highest regard, I remain Honorable Mama Briggs Mensa, Representative Salah District 6, Bone County, Republic of Liberia, Chairperson, Houses Committee on Gender Equity, Child Development, and Social Services. Very clear upon that, in fact, June 17, 2025. Director General, National Identification Registry, Congo Town, Liberia. Dear Sir, I present compliments and write by directive of the House of Representatives in session to inform you that it received a communication from Honorable Mama Briggs Mensa requesting your appearance before the full plenary to provide full disclosure and clarity on the persistent delay in the issuance of the national identification cards. Sir, communication was duly deliberated and the decision reached to invite your presence is currently requested before 8 on Thursday, June 19, 2025 at 11 a.m. to discuss, to address yourself to the issues outlined in the attached letter. Please find attached. Kind regards sincerely, Mildred Senior Chief Clerk. Communication to NEC. The Chairperson, National Elections Commission, 9th Street, Single, Monrovia, Liberia. Dear Madam Chairperson, I present compliments and write by directive of the House of Representatives in section to inform you that they received a communication from Honorable Mama Briggs Mensa requesting the NRO's appearance before the full plenary to provide full disclosure and clarity on the persistent delay in the issuance of the national identification card. Said communication was duly deliberated and the decision reached to invite the Director General of NRAU. In view of the above, the President is kindly requesting before it on Thursday, June 19, 2025 at 11 a.m. to address the issue raised. Please find attached. Kind regards sincerely, Mildred Senior Chief Clerk. The response from NEC. Madam Mildred Senior Chief Clerk, the Honorable House of Representatives, the National Legislature, Capitol Hill, Monrovia, Liberia. Dear Madam Chief Clerk, this communication acknowledges receipt of your 17 June 2025 letter inviting the chairperson to appear alongside the Director General of the National Identification Registry on a hearing related to NIR activities. Madam Chief Clerk, I regret to inform you that due to ill health, Honorable Councillor Anderson Magawa, who is also the focal point for the NIR, will proceed for me at a hearing scheduled for today, 19 June 2025. Thank you for your kind understanding. Kind regards, sincerely, Beatrice T. Japter. His name is not clear. Special Assistant to the Chairperson, PP for the Chairperson. Mr. Deputy Speaker, Mr. Co-Presiding Officer, Honorable ladies and gentlemen, those are the readings of the communication, the one that prompted the invite that went out to our guests, and the response from the NIC requesting us to allow Madam Ernestine Morgan to proceed on our behalf because she's ill. Thank you, Mr. President.
That was a reading of the communication sent to the NIR and the NAC by the representative Mema Briggs, just read by the Chief Clerk.
Thank you, Honorable Co-Presiding colleagues. Firstly, let me thank our sister of Bonn County, District 6, who has done this very great letter as it relates to identification registry in our country. My inquiry is that I just noted that NEC was also written, and I'm a little confused as to what brings NEC into this matter that is clearly in the court of the NIR. If we can have some little reason why NEC is here, then we can be official in arguments. Thank you.
Information. Observation, inquiry, it implies that you were in section on Thursday, Tuesday when that decision was taken. And in the wisdom of plenary, the two institutions were required to come and answer to the concern raised by our colleagues. So, inquiry or
Co-presiding colleagues, my inquiry is to the Chief Clerk. If I remember that day, one thing that prompted the motion for the invite of the NEC was after the communication was read and debated, there was an information provided that Mr. Andrew Peters had a press conference informing the Liberian people that the national ID card could be used 2029 to help the voter registration process. It is against that backdrop that NEC was invited. So what I want to find out from the clerk is, was that part of the invitation extended to Mr. Peters? Yeah, but I want to know if it is also mentioned in his invitation, but that was not into our brief communication. It was a
I think, like you said, it was mentioned during the deliberations.
Yeah.
So predicated upon that, we plenary took a decision to have the elections commissions to come so that property that concern could also be addressed. So I'm not sure we can refer that to the Chief Clerk. That was plenary decision. Yeah. So
thank you, Mr. President, fellow colleagues, co-presiding. Mr. President, when I listen to the reading of the communications, the various communication, more especially the one that is being addressed to the NDC, I think the NDC has 5 to 6 commissioners. Under the spirit of coordination and respectability, I think we cannot wear the head of NDC and send in somebody who is now a commissioner. Yes, ma'am.
Special assistant. Wait, hold on, The chief clerk was, I think, he has a point, colleague, just listen, please.
Because if you listen So sending the commissioner and seeing the special assistant to PP for the commissioner that was waiting, I think it's not right. And then if we cannot get a letter that is being written by the head of the NDC, signed by the commissioner asking this body to excuse us based on ill nature or problem, then we can do it. But for special assistance to PP and send a letter to our patient
my information is I think the distinguished gentleman from Sano County did not listen clearly to the communication rep and the chief clerk. I think one of the commissioners was designated by the chairperson to represent.
Presiding distinguished colleagues. I think the essence of sending for people from the executive to come and appear here is to provide information for the public. If an entity is waiting and a person who is close to the authority to provide that information is here, I think we need to proceed and gather the information presented to the public. Given the communication written by, read by the chief clerk, I heard someone who is also a commissioner designated and a focal person for the exercise with the National Registry designated to come and provide the information. So I think we should proceed and hear from them.
Information. Colleagues, take you. I think the chair will have to guard the floor. Please, colleagues, you have time. On the responsibility of the man. The issue here is not about Honorable Morgan. It's not about the representation from them. No. The issue about is the individual. Madam Patricia Government, special assistant in the office of Madam Echo Brown Masana, instead of one of those commissioners collaborating you, but instead of special assistant. You have to make that decision clearly. Because the issue is not Madam Morgan, don't get it wrong. But Madam Joker having been the special assistant in the office of Madam Echo Brown, writing you, telling you that Madam Morgan will represent the Elections Commission on this at this hearing. That is the issue. So you have to make the decision without clarity. Way forward. I will see what I approach the chair. I will remember brief. Why you
Honorable Speaker, presiding, the distinguished Honorable Deputy Speaker, presiding, distinguished colleagues.
Good afternoon again, and welcome to LNTV. ELBC, we are just joining us. We are in the House of Representatives, and the communication that was sent by Honorable Mema Rubrics to the Director General of the National Identification Registry and the chairperson of the National Election Commission is now being discussed by the representatives.
What a pity. Why is it
Johnson, please have a seat or remember bring this up. We need quiet to each of us, please. Johnson. Johnson. Number 5. Johnson. Order. We are seeing the chairman. No. Resigning on this position.
I've been sitting down, can't listen to the communication from the chair of the National Election Commission informing us our ability to be attendance due to reasons that I think are genuine. Well, administratively, I think the communication was signed by the wrong person. There is an august body, the first branch of government. You know, the government all along. In fact, the minister, the senior minister will now write the head of an entity. And I think they have the structure.
Johnson, the chair will have no option on the action of this chief of the container. Please have your seat. Please have your seat. Have your seat. Honorable Johnson, please have your seat. Please have your seat, Honorable Johnson. The Reverend Nancy Chimas, have your seat.
So as I say, this protocol that has been established, we think that we need to put, some control checkpoints. We acknowledge.
ask the speaker for them to order, but this is LNTV. We are just joining us. We are coming to you live from the House of Representatives.
Thank you. We proceed.
So, as I was saying, we acknowledge the excuse. It is our right to ask the excuse to write us. But we think that it is an error. But somebody that is not a commissioner they got board of commissioners, they got chairperson, co-chairperson. So within your absence, the chairperson, the co-chairperson, whosoever that should just understand should have written us instead of special assistant. So on that note, if I can get a simple move so that the never be rejected. Go back at the public account or go back and do it. Not going to come, but for today's meeting, I think she's not qualified to be here.
No, I think we need to, the motion need to be modified. We said the issue is not with the individual and what the us not the rep for president. Before that, we ask on the civil to prepare that motion properly. Make the motion.
Based on the discussions and the premise as laid by the honorable gentleman from Sino County, Honorable Kuya, considering the severity of the matter and also noting that this is an August by the first branch of government, and letters written to this branch must be from the right individuals. Once it must be noted that we have not rescinded in our mind that Commissioner Anderson is the right person to speak, but because the letter was written by somebody who is more junior, I'd like to move if I can be seconded that Commissioner Anderson be made to retire from this session, and as and when we need next intervention to the matter, never be appropriately written and come here to listen to our inquiry. If I can assume
Already to vote.
Thomas, please take the readiness.
Already.
Mr. Speaker, Deputy Speaker,
Observation demand, we take the readiness.
Mr. Movement, I'll be ready to vote. Taking into consideration that the communication as written is far below somebody that should be ready this August body, but the commissioner is already here. The issue that we have here is something that our people cannot wait for us to be addressing. To have us sent back on the basis of a letter, I think this plenary can instruct her to go back and inform her people, whoever ready, that going forward next time, the appropriate person responsible to address the body should be able to sign and send communication to us. But she's here already. I think we should put our case before her.
Please, parliamentary, he has his right to state his readiness. The movement is charged with the responsibility to reject herself. Honorable movement.
The woman wrote the communication and instructed the expression to sound of the guy. I wanted to do and that should God need that.
We proceed. Number 6, please respond.
The majority consensus that the issue concerning the individual who's written and how it appears very disrespectful to the house. Again, I'm going to reject your.
Thank you.
Already.
Please state your relevance to
For the movement, I'll be ready to vote if we consider the commissioner here to give the information so that the Liberia. I got something to add to it. So that the Liberia people can get the necessary information we need from National Election Commission. And then the person who wrote the letter from the commissioner office should be cited here to give a reason why.
Like my motion said, we will defer the comments from NEC. And so for the purpose of the intent of this hearing, again, I'm maintaining that NEC is going to retire while we hear from NIR.
Deputy Speaker, co-presiding, distinguished colleagues. The genesis of this invite was from a communication written by one of our colleagues. And NEC being here was because the issue was debated and there was a connect between NEC and the National Registry. Given that it was based on that connect, that NEC was invited. And now NEC is displaced because of their reply. I will be ready to vote if we displace the two groups so that they can appear at once. Yes, because we need information for the groups. Let's displace the both groups so that they can appear at once. Because we don't want for the appearances to be in pieces.
Based on the letter written, there is a general concern for the NRO. Yes. And NEC has a specific comment to make to that process. Yes. Having said that, we reject your amendment. NEC is going to be
distinguished colleagues, with all of the readiness. Are you ready to vote?
Honorable Presiding of the House of Representatives, Honorable Co-Presiding distinguished colleagues to the movement, I will be ready to vote if you can accept the amendment that taking into consideration that the actions of the chairperson of the National Elections Commission has obstructed
please approach the chair.
Has obstructed the working of this House of Representatives on this matter. Should be made to appear as such, should be made to appear to give us reasons why she should not be held in contempt. The NEC chairperson, Deputy, please let that be accepted. Public offices are now for individuals. She need to come and tell why she obstructed the hearing today that will not allow us to go into this hearing. So, that's the movement we need. Please help me.
The issue about is not obstruction in any way. It is because of the bureaucracy in writing to us. Hereby, I deny, I reject
Thank you. Soka is the last. Please, you state that you are ready.
Honorable Deputy Speaker, presiding, co-presiding the police to the movement. I will be ready to vote if you can kindly accept the simple amendment. While retiring
Already.
we are next Tuesday. I did same thing. This decision, if accepted, should constitute the communication would like to reappear on Tuesday. So accepted. Thank you.
With the accepted distinguished colleagues, are you ready to vote? All those in favor of the motion being Jason Sibo making no mistake here. Against those abstaining, motion is carried. And I would like to say thank you so much on behalf of members of the House of Representatives. Please convey our sentiment, and we regret the illness of Madam Lassana. We hope that she speedily recover so that she can return to national duty. Thank you so much for the discharge. And it's hereby so ordered.
So that's it. The communication from Honorable Member Briggs was sent to the National Election Commission chairperson, and the response was written by the NEC and the assistant in the chair office has come to represent her, but there's a disagreement that most of the representatives have agreed that they want to see the chairperson herself in the session to discuss the issue raised by Member Briggs, and our assistant have been released from this session, and now proceed to another communication. So if you are just joining us, this is LNTV. Keep tuned as we this session from the House of Representatives.
Thank you. Co-chair and presiding officer of this section. My name is Andrew Spear. I'm the executive director of the National Identification Registry. I've come along with my enrollment officer, Joseph Dima.
Mr. President, co-president, this colleague, Mr. Andrew did not recognize the body, so I think I have to.
I sincerely apologize for that. Let me repeat. Mr. Deputy Speaker and Presiding Officer, honorable members of the House of Representatives, co-presiding, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I've come here today with some core officer from the National Identification Registry. Mr. Joseph Dima, he is the enrollment director at the National Identification Registry. Jimmy Tome is chief of staff to the executive director. Dale Conway is the management consultant at the National Identification Registry. Thank you.
Please, Minister, the vote.
Now the executive director for the National Identification Registry is right up there to respond to the letter by
My name is Andrew Peter, the Executive Director of the National Identification Registry.
on the delay of issuing national identification cards to citizens.
I, Andrew Peter,
Thank you, Mr. President, Mr. Co-President, colleagues. Mr. President, my observation is the administering of the oath is being administered only to the Executive Director. So where in the case, if any of those who are seated behind you want to make testimony, is it not necessary that people on oath?
Information to now, the fact that those are gentlemen sitting on the throne are just supposed to start, they are not in the rank of the administrative structure. So raise the hand. So we'll proceed.
I, Mr. Andrew Peter, Executive Director of National Identification Registry,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that the testimony I'm about to provide
that the testimony I'm about to provide
as it relates to the hearing
will be the truth
and nothing but the truth.
and nothing but the truth.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Thank you. Repeaters, please have your seat. And then we'll allow the proponent of the communication to begin the conversation. And then we'll entertain you with prayer. Member Mensah, please set the stage for this discussion.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Deputy Speaker, for presiding and distinguished colleagues. Thanks to my colleagues and also the presiding and co-presiding for adding so much.
Please have your seat. The discussion one country is presenting. Yes, have your seat.
For adding so much importance to the matter that affects our people. A few weeks ago, we received an executive order from the President requesting that every Liberian make sure to take a valid national identification card. And I believe before the President making this decision, he was being informed by the NRO. So, and tell us why is it that the decentralizing of the ID card is not proactive? And also, why is it that the process is so much attached with delay for our people? And then if there anything we can help as legislators, let us know and we all can work on it. And I'm sure after the deliberations, as the people there between, we can take few decisions and make sure it's in the interest of the people. Thank you, Honorable Deputy Speaker, for presiding and distinguished colleagues. That's so submit. If they need me, I will come back.
With the submission, we're now inducting the Executive Director. Please take this turn. Andrew Peters. Right.
Honorable Andrew Peters now gave his testimony.
Deputy Speaker, the presiding officer.
Member Mensah,
Co-presiding officer, members of the House of Representatives, the press. Today is an opportunity for me to stand before this awkward body to pass this very important information to the Liberian public. I listened to Honorable Colette, and I think I will join the two concerns together and address them. We have been listening in the public concern regarding the National Identification Registry. some of the issues she also raised in her communication is that why the national identification card should be superior over an internationally recognized document, which is the Liberian passport. She also raised a concern that there's a delay in delivering the cards to the citizens. Firstly, I would like to, with your permission, to read to you the functions and authority of the registry and the important and relevant of the national card we are discussing about. The National Identification Registry came about in 1983 with former Liberian President Samuel Doe to issue a decree number 65 creating the National Identification Card System under the Ministry of Finance. Those who were born in the 80s can remember that. That short-circuited because of the war. When Madam Sani became president, and His Excellency, the current president of this country, realizing the importance of national identity, appealed to the national legislature to enact a law giving full authority to the National Identification Registry as the premier.
Observation, Mr. President.
Observation. What's the point of observation?
Mr. President, my point of observation is the Registrar General is being called here to address specific concerns. We are not here to be lectured about the history of the establishment of the National Registry. That the director do our justice is go to the specific concerns affecting our people.
The director, in as much the presiding will appreciate the premise that you want to make in these deliberations, but time is of essence. We kindly advise that you get to the subject matter, the purpose of this invite. One, the aspect that has to do with decentralization of obtaining those cards. Mr. Executive Director, are you listening?
I'm listening to you.
Our citizens are complaining concerning the delay of obtaining those cards. Like you mentioned, she also talked about the strength between the voter registration card, the identification card, and the passport. So I want us to address these issues. There will be a lot of issues that will be raised. So we need to manage time, please.
Okay, thank you.
Citizens are complaining. They go to bank. They have been requested to give these cards. Those cards cannot allow them to do transactions. For us in Monrovia, we got problems. Citizens got problems. How much more our people in the rural area? They are complaining. They walk miles. They walk from village to village, town to town, to come to cities. And they spend days before obtaining those cards. So you have to please speak on that.
Let's talk about the history. Information.
So,
I don't add information to your guys.
Okay, for them. Additional.
Yeah, thank you, Deputy. I think that Peters, we like our presiding and Deputy Speaker said, the addition I want to make is in your forecast, you inform the Liberian people that where you obtain your card, the address that you have on your national identification card, that address will be used during the 2029 voter registration process. Where that card was taken with that address, it is where you take your voter card. For example, if I got my ID card with the address of Joe Bapinzil, I went to Bon County to go vote. When they check in the system, Joe Bapinzil for there as my address, I will be denied voting. I'm obtaining my voter card in Bon County because it does not reflect the address there. So that is one of the reasons you are called for. Thank you.
When you get an authority from something,
Please, we can, please. So we allow you, Mr. Executive Director, just go ahead.
Thank you, Honorable.
all right, because you have truck. Yeah. Don't truck. Trust the people here this week.
The first thing I will address the issue raised by Honorable Polite, but please let it be the last.
Yes.
Let us deal with the issue.
No. Mr. Sani, we're not interrupting Mr. Executive Director. You cannot restrict this body.
No, there are points that...
No, because I already said let that be the last.
Because the point of concern...
He has much we want the conversation to be friendly. Mr. Director, you will take it easy so that... No.
You're fighting your party, man. Why the process slow? Hey, man, answer that process slow for before you cancel your talking business.
Andrew Peters, we want this conversation to be friendly so you are ready within our conference. Honorable Steve Tikwa, please have a seat. Order. Thank you. Please proceed, Honorable Executive Director.
Thank you. On the issues of these cellular printing of the National Identification Registry, we are present at all county headquarters. In Lima, we got 2 centers. In Bonn, we got 1 center. In Riverside, we got 1 center. In Lima, we got 2. In Mozzarella, we got 14. We just opened another center to the Chambers of Commerce last week. In Basso, we got 1. In Maryland,
colleagues, we understand the sentiments and emotion. Please take it easy. Let's see you after the query. The Executive Director, please.
I thought you have called me.
Adjusting the Honorable House of Representatives. I'll continue to emphasize we want this conversation to be friendly. Please take note in your presentation. Please take note. So you can provoke this body, please. Mr. Executive Director. You are calling by the Liberian people. You must conform, please. Thank you.
So we have represented in all of the 15 political subdivisions.
Represented. Oh, I were there. With the statistic you gave me.
So, all the decentralized printing, the registry that is central printing center in most of other countries. What happened in the country, those things deeds, when you roll the certain thing, export the data, we do the deduplication here and print the card and send it in. We in Moscow County, the card is issued 3 days. Once you do your registration and face the immigration, you are qualified, giving your receipt. You are given 3 days in Moscow County to receive your card. In the D1 County, there are some challenges that we have. Lack of logistical support, bad road network, the operations of the registry. So after we have done the printing in 3 days, we have to transport those materials at the various centers. As you are aware, we have road network that have a problem. In terms of postal system, it's a difficult situation we have, a challenge. So we have these challenges in terms of the delay of the car. But it cannot go beyond what is being pronounced that 1 month, 2 weeks, in between 3 days and 1 week. Since the executive order, commercial banking institutions issue regulations as per the executive order. We as sector head met with the central bank governor and reached a conclusion for the extension of the enforcement deadline. So currently, we had a press conference and we announced to the public that the enforcement deadline would be on the 31st of August. That has been disseminated at all of the banking institutions that currently you can use any identity to access any banking institution, any financial institution. That took effect 3 days ago. We have pronounced it because we know some of the challenges we've had. So you can now go to the bank, you have your passport, you have any other identity, you can access your cash or whatsoever services that you have. We have reached that position. Secondly, and this is very important that I address that. We have had consultation with the National Elections Commission because that government entity to government entity. Due to the limited capacity of enrollment case and tablets that we have asked the Elections Commission to buttress the registry effort. They agree in principle to provide 1,000 enrollment kits to the National Identification Registry. They have done the initial 500. They are now decommissioning that 500, and in 10 days' time, the National Identification will be able, National Identification Registry will be able to make a major deployment. Statistics we have put together in Moscow County will deploy 100 enrollment kits. In Grand Bassa County, 100. We will have 100 prison centers. In Lofa County, 100. In Nima, 75.
Please take note, please allow in. Please, please. Let's proceed.
For the bigger counties and the smaller counties will be able to provide from 50 downward. We have also sent for 6 specialized will be printing at 6 locations. We have earmarked those counties that will allot those machines to. So many people from Bond County, if there will be a printing center, the surrounding county will benefit from that. We have also brought into the country a fast track printing machine that will print and give you your card the next day. Meaning you do the printing and you export the data as center, we deduplicate the data and automatically send it to you and you do your printing. We have paid for licenses for all of those machines. We have 25 laptops, tablets that we are using now to go at government ministry and agency. Here at the Capitol building, we have our enrollment team here. They have the tablets. So we are trying the best we can do in making sure that Liberians receive their just entitlement, so that we will be able to meet with the UN agenda on 2016-9, that by 2030 all citizens of the Republic will be able to be uniquely identified and in possession of their national card. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the issue of national identity is a global issue, not just in the context of the Liberian society. Last week I was in Ethiopia on the RD for Africa conference, and some of the countries that made their report, Liberia was the least. At 14%, Sierra Leone 95%, Ghana hired a private-public partnership, and that company was able, in collaboration with the government, to invest $150 million to develop the infrastructure as the infrastructure for the country.
Observation. What's the point of observation?
Mr. President, Mr. Co-President, Police, Mr. President, I was there that the purpose of which the guest was invited, he has laid the premise already, and with the information that we have present, I will advise that we begin the questioning, because what he's saying now, he's just giving additional information which is not necessary for this conversation.
Mr. Executive Director, without saying parliamentary, we should be able to note what our colleagues said to put it to court, and we'll ask you to just conclude so that we can create this purpose.
Okay, sir, let me conclude.
Please.
In conclusion.
Can we allow you to conclude, colleagues, so that they have the time? Please.
In conclusion.
Okay, what's the point of information?
The point of information is the concern from Honorable Colette regarding a press conference where he stated that the national ID card will be used in voter registration, where they are not. I want to remind the director.
Okay, allow him to respond, please. That's why he's here. In your conclusion, please touch on that.
Yeah, let me conclude on the financial aspect that I deal with that.
No, speak to that.
Okay, let me say this here. Exactly what I said.
What was it?
In not a press conference.
Okay.
When I spoke at the telecommunication program, the RCT sector. In that sector meeting, I was promoting the reason why the registry should be supported by national government, because there are many benefits that attach to the registry.
So that budget increment.
We talk about elections. And I was saying, if the government worked with the registry, the government could benefit as a result of data from the registry. I have no authority to interfere in election matters in this country. But the registry was established by law to uniquely identify all Liberians and state their location. And in fact, if you read the act that was passed, the national identification card is considered as the only government primary identification institution. You want me to reach out? So,
So, comparison between the identification card to that of the passport.
Okay. Let me thank you for that. Thank you. The national identification card is the primary identity for all citizens of a republic.
We don't understand.
Yes. That one is also. You want me to read it? I'll read it out.
In the country. In the country.
Read from the Constitution, don't read from your ID.
The identification card.
You want me to give receipt?
Mr. Executive Director, I continue to say we hold this conversation will be friendly, but this flow without the continue trying to mislead the Liberian people. We'll call you to order. Please note that.
I will not.
Please.
I will not. And now I'm reading the function of the registry. And you told me I should go ahead. Because I want to give you
we know the function, it has nothing to do with what you just said.
We'll get into the manual. Wait, I'm coming. Let me read this.
I think we're not interrupting the flow. Just conclude.
Let me just read what I'm saying.
Okay. That should be the conclusion.
To design, produce, and issue biometric cards, each with a unique identifying number, to be called a social security number, to be the primary government approved identity. For the purpose of birth registration, death registration, passport, immigrant document, bank account, driver license, social security benefit, and other identification document supported by adequate and appropriate security features. Supported by adequate security features to address the challenges of possible fraudulent duplication. That's the other.
So that supersedes the passport.
But let's
the national identification card is locally used, no containing by authority. But the conversation here is you are saying or telling the Liberian people that the identification card has more weight or authority more than the passport. Is that what you're saying? Is that what you're saying?
I'm saying the national identification card,
which is locally used for any transactions.
It's the primary. This act was not written by me. It's the primary. And if you look in the Western dictionary, primary means first. That's the first.
But you don't know the primary. So if you say
university, you must go to primary.
Is our police will not interrupt in the flow. Honorable Executive Director, yeah, we're done. have you to rest, and then you will take your pen so that you can take note of some of the inquiries that will be raised by our colleagues. And then you'll be given time to respond. So colleagues will start from this end and then we'll continue. Honorable Abbas Jones, Honorable Steve Tipa, in our order. Honorable Abbas Jones, please take the Honorable Executive Director.
Thank you, Mr. President. Thanks to Honorable Member Green of District Number 6 for County for this communication. Mr. President, I listened to the Executive Director of the NRR. I have no concern. When you check around us, this legislature has supported the decentralization process of central government. I listened to him in his presentation. He said there are representation of the NRR in the 15 political subdivision. And besides that, he said when the photo or the information are taken for our citizens, those information are sent. Those information are sent to the NRR. And it is at the NRR that the ID card is printed. So it means that there is more reason why our colleague even wrote this communication. Because if you were to consider 5.2 million people, and each of those 5.2 million people, according to his act, should be uniquely identified, I'm wondering how our mothers who go to the farm on a daily basis maybe decide to take one day off to go have their ID card. But the director is saying when the information is taken, that information has to be brought or transported to the central office, whether electronic or not. But the printing, when you print out electronic printing, you're sending hard copy. And then it will take about, for Morocco, is 3 days. So imagine in the interior. He counting the issue of road. He counting other challenges that he faced with. Mr. President, my concern is, currently as we speak, the enrollment is going on. Can the Executive Director inform us on a daily basis how many ID cards are they issuing so that we can provide it to the population of our country? That's one. Two, how did the Executive Director and the others inform the President? Because if up to now, he's still saying they have procured 6 machines, and those 6 machines are now in country to start printing massive ID cards, and they are only depending on one yet. I'm wondering how we intend to achieve, because they are saying that the enforcement process will start on the 31st of August. Between now and the 31st of August, we have less than, let's say, 2 months, taking into consideration the 31st of August. Mr. President, can the director inform us that all these things that they are talking about to be implemented, do they have the fundings available? Because other than that, what he's doing here is they're lecturing us that tomorrow our people will start, let's say, finding it difficult like they are now. Another issue I want to raise. We listen. I'm speaking for entire Liberia. Another issue I want to raise from the telecommunication sector. Today it is the bank. People are going to the bank and they cannot receive their deposit. I've been told
I don't know whether it's true and I stand to be corrected. That when this executive order is about to be taken into full swing, people who are not registered, their SIM card with the identification card number will be immediately blocked. I don't see the capacity, except the executive director proved me wrong, but I don't see, according to what he has presented to us, I don't see the capacity they have to rule order. So how can he address this issue? Thank you.
Let your back on the sun.
But you come on, you cannot
see you.
Honorable Presiding, distinguished colleagues.
Police, just be patient a little bit. Yes, okay.
Mr. Witness. Honorable Presiding, could you please call his attention because I was kind of distracted. Distinguished colleagues, Mr. Witness, I would like you to tell us to date how many registration you have done. And I heard you talk about your strategic plans. Tell us the actual date for rollout. And you are on oath, so I would like you to tell us definitively if you'll be able to register the approximately 5.2 million people that we have in this country before the end, the end mark of the registration period. Thank you.
Maybe around 40% when you get it.
Co-presiding distinguished police. My question to the director, Mr. Director, I want to know, how are you getting your data and what are the information that is placed on the ID card? What are those informations that you are loading on the ID card? Yeah, the ID card is not important.
Close the microphone and put it talking, man. No, I can't okay.
Yeah, but that will constitute the first part. We take the second
Distinguished colleagues, to the witness,
I want you to make clarity, honest clarity. Because yesterday, the committee had the audits for you and the latest.
and during our discussion with you,
You did say that come 2029, your place of registration will determine when you vote. And so that issue raised concern, but you didn't mention that. So you want to tell us how you going to ride that, how does it play with what you're saying?
Thank you. I think we need to make emphasis on the answer.
Let me start for the last question.
Please. There are a few questions. The last question is something that claims all of us interest, and I'm going to respond to this as it relates to obtaining your card. Where would you obtain? For example, if Honorable Fala obtained his card in Bolsonaro, simple English. So with that subject Honorable Fala or Mr. Fala to vote in Bolsonaro or Lufa, because I'm from Lufa.
Thank you very much. What I said yesterday, I want to repeat that. And I was using supposition that the government of Liberia spent over $6.9 million to build this system. And if
The issue is very succinct. Just continue on that path.
Yesterday discussion.
Because the chairman had a conversation with me yesterday, and you were very clear according to him. So you just need to speak with them. That's what you're saying.
Let me say what I said.
Okay, just get it, please.
I said,
Jinan.
Assuming without admitting that the government of the Republic of Liberia decide to use the registry to assist for us at the registry where
you want to be protected, you are on our oath.
Yes.
And please, we don't want you to sway this conversation and allow this body to evolve authority. Because when you are on our oath, whether when you say here, you must be the truth and not by the truth. Any attempt not to go in that direction, you will be put on a contempt and you will be charged on a contempt. In as much you want this conversation to be friendly and continue to say, please take note. The honorable colleague just said in the streamers, you had a conversation yesterday. You continue to talk about supposition, you continue to bring around the question. The question is very clear that people have an interest. Mr. Executive Director, can you speak to this?
But I'm
very clear, no. The people you
there are distinctions of authority. I said it here that I do not have the authority to determine how elections are conducted.
So what was said yesterday?
But what I said, the reason for which the government built this registry is to uniquely identify people. And if the government were to use the registry or ask for the registry assistance, the registry process is they will keep all your information as to where you register. That is our work. When you register in Montreal County,
at that point, you transfer all of the information from your institution to elections.
It's not just elections commission. Our responsibility is to feed all government ministry and agencies with the data. In terms of national security, we feed you with the data. Transport ministry, we feed you with the data. Because for the person to obtain a driver license, that person must assist.
Yeah, you feed the national elections.
Why do you say yes?
The elections commission.
The primary source of
the data. Oneness. You feed the elections commission with the data. Oneness.
The government
to give the information.
Excuse me. Yesterday, you then emphatically say that your registry that will be used to register. And you said because that's the people saying something. So what's what that you register? So if your name is not there, you will not register. In fact, when I was in the what you said? Why do you register the then he said that the program will be curtailed because you may go there, but once your name is not there, you not register. So where are you registered?
police don't go get off track. He has a bunch of queries of question for you. Let's allow him to answer and take another part. So information. Information demand. All information demand, we allow the executive director to respond to the first part of query. Please.
Mr. President, I've said here clearly that my responsibility to collect data is to share data with government ministry and agency. Each of those agencies got their responsibility and determine what to do with the data, not me. So if I submit a data using the application programming interface of Ministry of Transport, Ministry of Transport responsibility is to make a determination. Because my responsibility is to legally identify the person, not our responsibility. And to share the data with them. They have to determine what the agency do with it. I don't have that authority.
Information denied, colleagues, please. We'll have the next batch of colleagues to ask questions. Give them what we want to proceed.
Thank you. The second question is, what information do you put on the card?
Let's listen to the information, please.
When you come to the registry, the enrollment process, you will give your name. You will provide your parents' need. You will provide your date of birth. You will provide your nationality, whether you are a Liberian or a foreign resident. You will provide your age, your date of birth. You will provide your area of residence. Your area of residence. And the enrollment officer will give you back the form and read it along with you. You sure is this information belong to you? When you say yes, they will put it in the system. And information we receive at the registry is gathered under the Information Dissemination Act. We do not, under the law, share any other person's information to another person except a court order. Which code? Which code?
The country of origin, the country of origin.
Your registration center? No, it's on the form. And the good thing about it, if you come from Bon County, for example, you come from Bon County, you can bring me in Mosawara County and register in Bon County. You don't have to go to Bon County. All the citizens in Mosawara County from Bon County, when you go at the registry, that was important. I'm going to listen. When you go at the registry, you will inform the enrollment officer. When you going to fill in the form, after you have declared all your information, when it comes to the electoral district, you will have to put your electoral district where you come from. If you forget that, nobody Where you live is the information you provide. You were willing to provide your information. I am from Nima, from District 8, and that will be placed there. You do have to go to Nima to place that. Somebody asked me whether we have a capacity to register 5.2 million. Yes. We want to be put in place, and with the support of the national government. And there is one appeal I will make to the national legislature. I will disclose to you about budget we are operating. Again, you need to intervene. With the six regional operating centers in 24 months, when you roll the entire population beginning from baby.
In 24 months?
24 months. 2 years. That's the plan. We are.
Thank you.
Do you ask me?
Yeah. Thank you. We'll take the last part. To you on Obama Bridge. Answer.
In terms of how many cards are they producing on or daily basis?
Okay, please put that on. Please, because that's why we need to pay attention. You'll be recognized right after. Yeah.
Sorry for me.
Answer just respond to my goal. How many cars you produce per day?
With this executive order, we process 5,000 cars a day. And we have
How many days it take you to deliver? You process 5,000 cars. How many days it take you to deliver to the individuals?
3 days. Because
you process 5,000 cars, will you do the math?
How many cars do we have? How many have you
Police. I want for the executive director to know that he plays on. And what evidence says here should be the truth and nothing but the truth. Because for the executive director to say they are producing 5,000 cars on a daily basis, Mr. President, and he carried on within 24 months, the entire population will be enrolled. But at the same time, we see the huge demand in terms of this ID card, to the extent that our police even had to bring this matter, and that's why he's here. So I just want to remind him that he's on an oath, and whatever he said should be the truth.
Sure.
Okay.
So, Honorable Deputy, thank you so much. Distinguished Honorable Deputy, let me start with this. I know we want to be friendly. I know we want to collaborate. But please, these are things that made us today the past government come back, because we put it point at the bad doing every time people say, let me be friendly. These executive people, they don't respect us as legislators. They sit in the gallery, they say a lot of negative things about us. Oh, Deputy, if we can't do anything for ourselves, let's stop the friendship and do our work. Having said that, I don't think the women is ready for the job. The first thing he give here, disrespecting our law we made to tell all you want to tell all the law. And you couldn't even state the law. Because what? When people are appointed, they go and they don't learn what they went to do. They come with bossy attitude. So we have to take the thing seriously. I will come to the Lord. The power He's trying to say.
Order.
Let me tell you this.
A time for inquiry, not a time for lecturing here.
I have a comment and a question.
No, you don't can't.
The question is, Honorable Director, you went to the
the main law wrong. I mean, the law, the main read wrong.
the president.
The law didn't say that the
come up with an executive order to make you more proactive, to register everybody. The constraint you're explaining here.
That's a question.
Did you inform the president about it? Then the next thing is, you didn't stop there before I went to the central bank for what the previous year. It convinced you to devalue our passport because you said you the one got it right and the sole right to do passport. Right? ID card, which is not a passport, right? So over the law, our director was trying to say, let me say, because that's one law that I can't law and I follow it to the letter. The first thing, your function, to 3.1. The general function of the registry shall be to design, establish, maintain, and administer import data system for the Republic of Liberia. You're supposed to do what? They're all the data for the country, biometric data, and keep it. It be in your system, in your custody. Then what you are talking about, so they will go further down to 3.2 D. It says to design your functions, the things you're supposed to do. To design, produce, issue biometric card, each with a unique identification number to be called a social security number. That will be able to be used by every citizen for passport, for what the thing name, all the other things like birth certificate, death certificate, everything, right? And then the next function is to solicit funding. So we give you a very good price, right? What you don't understand is, can I use to get power to say the passport number? What you're doing, the biometrics and that people doing over there. If you had a system for the level of time we are giving you this thing, if you have a system in there, they should come to you for our biometric and you sell it to them. They're not supposed to be doing it. So it means you greater than the passport, but you are the custodian of biometric. And the transport ministry, everybody's supposed to come to you and negotiate with you. Then we come to the funding aspect. In the law, we say you can go for money. Whenever you talk about you went to UN conference, you went all places, right? What have you? You're supposed to look for funding. They have the election commission can do. Before election comes, they are looking for funding and partners to make sure they be more proactive to do their job. You're supposed to come to us and say, this is my projection. But this year to this year, I want to grow up the 5 million plus Liberia in my system to be in my custody. But I need the Liberian legislators to allocate this money for me to do this work. Have you? When you kind of go to school us about 1980. So let me tell you the next thing. All of us, let's not take it to a job. And I think that people will think they will come there and play with us when we don't know what we're doing. Our people are suffering. Our people passing around complaining everything. When I will create this body, as this may be from here today, let the legislature make a decision that the national identification card be free for 6 months. For our people to access it. And we can go to voter registration card because we want them vote for us and do it free. Why would we do the identification card free for them? Then you come with a budget, they put money there. Then you go to it, start suffering our people. It's not suffering our people. We can't continue like that. They almost have to these people don't straight up. And I will ask them to work on this.
Presiding, is it a way forward?
Governor to tell us who gave him the power to act the president executive order. Yes. Please don't bother. If we are not not been taking things serious. We have to stand up. But these people are not your friends. 2028, I will be fighting on you. I will never just straight.
That was Honorable Member Briggs who wrote the director to come and testify to why the citizens of Liberia are receiving their national identification cards in a slow mode. So the testimony from Andrew Peters, I think Member Briggs is not in favor of
fellow colleagues.
the director.
I happened to be in that meeting yesterday with Director Peters and the chair. In that meeting, I asked a question that brought about some explanation which he went into here. The question I asked was, how can we stop the trucking in this country?
What you call trucking? They come from Guinea?
Now,
they come from Guinea.
No destruction, please protect the owner. Our person, you have the flow.
okay, please. According to Director Peters, we will be able to use this ID card or the national identification card to identify wheresoever your physical body can be found for time to vote. Example, if I'm from District 2, Bassel County, I will vote. My national ID card will carry District 2, Bassel County. If I live in Monterey County, District 1, for example, according to him,
please give all the best a chance.
that's the address they will carry. So I'm not going to get up and say my mother born me in Dover County, so I'm going to District 1 to go there to vote. When my physical being is in District 2,
my colleagues.
You have the time, please.
The witness made mention of one instrument or center. My question here is, for example, and according to you, you said you have one instrument. I don't know how you tell me that you produce the car in Lofa. Which part of Lofa do you have this instrument? And the next one, just for example, you have it in Washington. So we need to be respectful to come to Washington. Is that the case? What's the definition of trucking? When you put that is my question.
Please, let's see the Formula, you are welcome. Thank you. Former Is
it because the people realize that not many?
You're all of order. Thank you. You're all of order.
Candidate 2029, no trucking.
Yeah, very good. What you say here?
I'm a formula, you're all of order. I'm a good son. Police, please.
So, presiding police. I listened as the executive director was making his point, and he stated how the government of Liberia has spent millions of dollars on the system that they are using now. And he also pointed that the national identification card is the primary identification in this country. So my thing is, if it is a primary, it's a good thing. It means that in order to get other identification like the passport, certificate, other thing, you must first have obtained the national identification. Unfortunately, children below 5 years old are not being involved into this. And children below 5 years old, they can travel out. So if we are going to be using this analysis that it is a primary identification, so how will we be able to obtain passport for our children below 5 years old? Secondly, the identification card is supposed to be biometric. During the 2023 election, National Election Commission issued out biometric voter registration cards. They were issued out within a day. The same day.
When you look at the population those days.
And Mr. President, that voter registration card, if all you obtain it and you use your phone, so when you have internet, the QR code that's stated on it will be readable. Even they will not give you all the details, but at least it will recognize that this card is registered with NEC. It will validate it. I just tried the QR code on the national identification card. It's not readable. It is not readable. But we are spending monies in order to do this thing across. Secondly, and lastly to my last point, I stress here when the issue of brought out in plenary the last time. People in Grand Bassa County, especially I will speak for my district, they will leave from Boba Sanitary District, walk sometimes, pay their way, especially the teachers and the health workers. Because when their monies are sent to their accounts, they have no access. They are being denied because they do not have the the national identification card. And when they go over at the center, the people there that are assigned tell them they're not going to do registration for more than 50 persons a day. And you have thousands of persons that have already paid thousands of dollars to go over to that center. And they are being turned down. Will they be able to leave from there and go back to the district and then come back the next day? That is an issue. It is causing serious problems. Sooner or later, when it starts to go across the country, it will be something that will be way beyond our country. The National Identification Registry should be able to state how they are going to be able to address this issue. Because the executive order is now in swing. And with all of the negotiations that he's having with the CBL and other people there, it is becoming a problem now for us. Because if you are now taking a national identification card over a passport that is accepted international, that is even readable by the citizens across the world, and then national ID card, you can't even read it anywhere. Even on your phone, you can't see anything on it. It's a problem. So we want the executive director to be able to address that, so that we can be able to take your information back to our people and explain to them how important this thing is.
So please allow you to respond and we'll take the next batch.
Okay, thank you. Let me address one of those who are concerned. The national identification card is biometrical by authorized authority.
But why should
this is why
looking on the side too?
That's your private information that we have to protect. So, like the House of Representatives, we are here now giving you the biometric card. It is our responsibility to protect your information. The act that can read that biometric information will be given to the leadership. We use the KYC, know your customer, and the application programming interface to connect your system here and our system, and the leadership will take responsibility of that because your information by law it has to be protected by us. So you can just put any phone and read it. Now I'm coming. Let me ask if I call my technician here now, they can read all your cards. But we cannot give it to you because you will use your phone and access another person's card and read it and disclose their information. So we give it to people. I'm talking about information like this. That is a secret information you are giving us. So you give us the information, we give your sector, the application programming interface that you'll be able to interface with our program and read the card. You can use a popular app that anybody can just pick up your card, especially you drop it. Somebody can read your information, they run with the information. We are by law, we are honored to protect every information that will go in our system. So we protect it very quickly. So, like when we finish with it, for extension. So that is the guy's video. Hello? No, I'm not finished. You got several questions here. If you permit me, I'll be able to address all. And there will be a national initiative, and the House of Representatives will join me in the process. If you allow me to really present this issue, the importance of this time, you will join me. But it's a global issue, not just a people.
For me, Director, inquiry just on this point, please. Because we know the information be protected, then I just
So we are saying we have a reader that when we complete the registration here, the speaker through the chief clerk we send our people here and you will sign that commitment form that all of the information of your staff that you have access to, you will not disclose into any other person. So you will have that information. It's a confidential contract that will be signed with the registry. But we cannot give and add to everybody. You take your room, you have it. So when you drive your car, somebody really knows all your information. So it's protected. That is the second one to address the issue from my honorable from Grand Basel County. And let me be realistic. During the conversation between Dave and myself, it was Dave that raised the issue that trucking was the problem. How? And I want to hear better right there. How do we control trucking? And I told them, and I'm saying what you raised. He described what they call trucking. He had met that before you here. And I said,
police, the chief officer, please.
I said, I respond to him.
Please.
The man who asked that question is not here.
Oh, he even used it.
Please.
Because it's concerned why you are being beaten by the former representative because she was talking and he was in America. I'm responding. organization. I just revealed my plan to you. And also he spoke about honor aid. From 0 to 5. We have a program with UNICEF. We partner with UNICEF to register from 0 to 5. 5,000 babies. We are now enrolling 5,000 babies at a free of cost. No cost to that. No cost to that. We are extending that program with UNICEF. I just had a meeting with them. They are prepared to support under 100,000 babies. They are in that negotiation. I just had a meeting with UNDP. They are prepared to
Please conclude. Let's take the next batch of people in business. We'll take the next batch of people in I reserve the two of you from police. Thank you very much. Just thank you, thank you, Mr. Buzani. Thank you. Let me ask my question. I got 2 questions for the director. Mr. Director, I listened to your presentation and I took down few statistics. According to you, Mr. Director, I want you please listen to me. According to you, you are processing 5,000 cards currently per day. And if you do the math, you will need minimum 1,000 days to process the entire country. And even with the 6-meter printing machine that is yet to come, you will still need at least 4 months to process the entire country. Why do you think this executive order should be implemented to the extent that you call it for the next 2 months to stop people from accessing certain information because they don't have the national ID card? When you yourself, you know within yourself that you are said to the 4 months you go to process the entire country. So now if all of us go to the extent on the land, we'll be spending for 24 months. Is that what you're trying to tell us about it? That's one of my questions. You also emphasize on the fact that you are under obligation to protect the information that has been provided to you. And the issue of protection of information, I don't think it extends to the point that even the visible information that is on the card cannot still be read. You have your name, your date of birth, your country of origin, and the ID number on the card that is visibly showing everywhere you go. Even if it's not anybody who's taking it, they still want to access those information. I think your restriction should go to the extent that there are certain information that are withheld and certain information still readable. Because when somebody takes this card, the first thing we need to know whether this card is authentic. So even if you have the right to have all of the information, I don't think the ID number of the card is information that can be hidden. So these are my concerns and I want you to please respond to it.
Thank you. Honorable Deputy Speaker, who presiding distinguished colleagues. To the director, I think you have made a lot of emphasis on this particular ID card and even say well, more than the passport of this country. However, I think you just briefly explained to us how you can acquire this card. And according to what I've been saying, you now explain to us that you can have any other interview or question before you can issue this card.
And this car is all around and the Fuda boys there, it's the Nigerian people there, and to all aliens. And you are making so much emphasis on it that is beautiful Nigeria. And even more than that of the passport of this country. I want to know, before you can get this car, to go for your explanation, you will ask for your name, your mother name, your father name, place of birth. Those are the things that has been to us. But for me, I believe that is not enough. Because people are penetrating, and I have seen this car with a lot of people that are not citizens of this country. How can you address yourself to that? Because I don't think there's anything put in place according to what you explained to us to have this car. And the car is very important. According to you, you're making emphasis on it. That today are even shopping at the Federal Bank in this country. If you don't have the ID card, you cannot get your money or exchange, or you cannot even do anything to the bank. And foreigners, they're all around here. How can you address that?
Honorable President, distinguished colleagues, prior to the executive order, if you are from the southeast, you do your ID card, it takes minimum 3 months for you to get back the ID card. Now that there is a deadline attached, I want to know, Mr. Director, what is the measure put in place to accelerate the process in order for our people to get a ID card?
Honorable Deputy Speaker and presiding officer, co-presiding distinguished colleagues, I have 2 questions for the director. I listened to you and you gave some figures in terms of distributing equipment throughout the counties. I want to know whether in the distribution you consider population, and if so, what population percentile have you considered? Secondly, what safeguard do you have in place? Because we continue to hear that some of the startups are delaying the process.
They have been turned down because of their last name or foreign name. And I just listened to one of my colleagues talking about Fuda people everywhere getting ID cards and all of that. And I want to know the criteria. Yes, please. I want to know the criteria in getting this card, because I'm looking at this now as a discriminatory issue that is going on. Thank you.
Thank you. So, please improve your score. Please improve your Fuda when you're campaigning. Please allow the director.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Presiding. And thank you to the honorable member of the House of Representatives. Let me start from the last guy, the last person who spoke.
What's the criteria?
Somebody mentioned that the cars are in the hand of Fuda people. No. We issue 3 different cars.